Hey friends, how are you? Hope you're well. Welcome to episode 6 of A Book and a Bake. Um, if you haven't watched this sort of mini series before, each month I choose a book, talk about it or review about it, and then I also bake something that is either related to the book or has been mentioned within the book. So this is episode 6. So the book I'm going to talk about today is Hopeful Hearts at Glendale Hall by Victoria Walters. This is the third in the Glendale Hall quartet. I really enjoyed it. Glendale Hall is this fictitious Highland village, and I would say you have to read the books in order. You can't kind of just jump in, so you need to have read the first two before you read this one. So Heather is the main person within this book. This is her story, and she lives with her partner Rory, who runs one of the local farms, and they have a son called Harry. Now, Heather used to help in the library, and she does graphic design, but that has all gone by the wayside because the farm work is just taking up so much of her time, and looking after Harry, and obviously being Rory, helping to look after Rory's partner, so she does the house, all the household chores, etc. as well. And in some ways I think she's beginning to kind of lose herself, in that she doesn't really know who she is anymore. And into the fray comes Stuart. Stuart is her ex-boyfriend, and he has supposedly come up to Glendale to think about turning what was the farm next door to Rory's into a hotel and golf course, boutique, etc. And he wants Heather to come on board with him to kind of design the hotel, etc. Because we do all the sort of the logo stuff for it, as and also the fact that she's a local means that it gives him an in into the locals as well. And he plays very much on her insecurities. Stuart is not a nice guy. He plays on Heather's insecurities, and it's like, only I can solve your problems. You're really not cut out for farm work, all of this sort of stuff. And he's just very manipulative. And I didn't, you're not something you're not supposed to like Stuart anyway. And I really didn't. He was just a manipulative, horrible man. And you could see Heather basically diminishing within his, every time she was around him. She got smaller and smaller as a person, and that was what happened when they were, when they knew each other, and she was, they were together as a couple. He basically isolated her from, her family, etc. So we have all this going on, but you also have all the other people that you've met before in Glendale, and you're still carrying on with their stories, which is really, really nice. You're kind of catching up with everybody and what's been happening to them, and you see the village and the community come together when they realise what's happening. And that is just really, really lovely. And it's just, everybody wants the best for everybody, and everybody wants the village and the community to flourish, but not at the cost of somebody's mental well-being, physical well-being, and I really like the interplay between Heather and Rory. It was like, I really liked that he's like, if you want to go and work for this guy, fine, I'll support you, etc. And she's like, well, I really don't know. He said, well, take your time, sort of thing, and I'll always be here for you. And that was just really, really lovely. And, you know, I like the fact that Heather used her best friend Beth also as a sounding board. That was really good. It's, you know, Heather has some close female friends within the village, and it was really, Beth is one of them. And I can't remember oh gosh, the minister's wife, her name escapes me at the moment. Hold on, I will find out. Her name's Emily. I thought it began with an E, but I couldn't remember. Yeah. So the minister's wife's Emily. So she is also part of like sort of Heather's friends that she can talk to, and it's, you know, it's really good that she does. You know, I think, you know, yes, this was it was a Christmassy type book, but it doesn't matter when you read it. But I would honestly give Glendale Hall a go. I really would. I've thoroughly enjoyed the 3 books that I've read so far of the quartet. I've got the last one to go, and part of me is really looking forward to reading it, and part of me is like, what's the last one? So, but yes, definitely do yourselves a favour and pick up Glendale Hall. The first one is called Coming Home to Glendale Hall, and they're all by Victoria Walters. But yeah, really, really enjoyed this. So that's it for the book review part. I'll see you in the bake part. Hey friends, welcome to the bake part of this video. Today I'm going to make a very traditional Scottish dessert called Cranachan. You can use this kind of New Year, weddings, you know, parties sort of thing. It normally has whiskey in it, but I'm not using whiskey because I don't take alcohol. So yes, I am going to sort of change it up a bit, but I will explain to you where what point you may add the whiskey when you make this. But I hope you'll enjoy this, but I will take you step by step through how to make Cranachan. So the ingredients for your Cranachan are pinhead oatmeal, which is like really, really fine oatmeal. It's like, well, it's not fine, but it's like knobbly. I'll take some out when I need it. Double cream, I'm using Elmley. You can use whichever kind of double cream you want. There are loads of varieties out there. And fresh raspberries. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to toast some oatmeal. So I'll sort of get that ready and show you what I'm going to do. Okay, I have the oatmeal in the frying pan. Now that's kind of what it looks like. Hopefully focus it. Yeah, so all I'm going to do is put this onto, hold on. Yay, it went on. So I'm just going to toast it in the drying frying pan over quite, you know, high or medium heat. Actually, I'm going to put it down to, and you don't want it burnt. You just want it nicely browned and have the nutty flavour smell coming through from it. So I will do this and let you see what it looks like once it's toasted. Okay, so this doesn't you know, burn. All I'm doing is I'm just moving it around the pan with a wooden spoon. I wish you could smell this. It is just got this beautiful nutty aroma that's coming off this pan. It's absolutely brilliant. The other way you can toast this is to obviously put your oatmeal on a sheet pan and put it in a sort of moderate oven or under a grill, and just keep your eye on it, because you want it to become kind of a nice goldeny colour, but you don't want it to burn. This is not kind of showing up very well, but it is beginning to sort of go a nice golden colour, so that's what I'm looking for. So another couple of minutes and this should be ready to take off the heat. I've taken the oats off the heat. They're definitely toasted well enough. Just unfortunately this is not showing up how nice and golden they are, but the smell is beautiful. I've just left them in the pan to cool. They will still continue obviously toasting with the heat that's in the pan. And I'll just keep continuing to stir them every so often. But now I'm going to start to whip my cream. Okay, I've just put the cream into this bowl and I'm using the electric hand whisk. I could have put it into the freestanding one and just let the machine do the work as well, but I decided that I like having more control over the whisking of my cream. So I will just whisk this until I get it to, it will be fairly stiff, but when it gets to that stage, I will let you see it. Okay, I've whipped the cream now. It's not, I wouldn't say it's like majorly stiff peaks, but if I can do that, you see it's still, so that's good. It's still got a bit of softness to it, which is what I want. You don't want it like firm. So that's the cream put in. This is the point where you would put your whiskey in, okay? But you would do it a little bit at a time, and you'd also add some honey as well, just a little bit, and just gently fold it through, because you don't want to, like, shall we say, deflate this and make the cream less, you know, stiff, as it were. I'm going to deviate slightly. This is where my deviation is going to come in. I am actually going to fold in some cocoa powder into this, or hot chocolate, you know, like dark chocolate cocoa powder, just to give it a flavour. And I may put a little bit of honey in as well. I'm just going to see what it's like, but I will show you what I'm going to do. Okay, I've sieved my chocolate in, and all I'm doing is just folding. So take it from the outside, around the outside, and just fold it over. That's all I'm doing, is very gently, because you do not want to let the air that you've whipped into your cream, you don't want to let that deflate. Okay, so I didn't have any runny honey, but what I might do is I might put a little bit of agave dark syrup in. I want to taste this once I've got the cocoa in it, until I decide what I'm going to do. Okay, I've added a little bit of agave syrup, and I'm just going to use my little spatula here just to gently fold that in, and hopefully that should be enough just to add a little bit of sweetness to it. So that's the little bit of syrup and the cocoa, and it's just like really cloudy and airy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the pinhead oatmeal, and I'm going to sprinkle it over the top, she says. And I'm going to leave about that much, I think. I'm going to fold that lot in, and then I'll see what it looks like, and I'll decide whether I'm going to add the rest or keep it, and I'll show you what I'll do with the rest of it when I've, you know, as I make the dessert up. I just folded that lot of oatmeal in. I'm going to leave, that's the only amount I'm going to put in. And I'm now going to start sort of making the dessert up, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with the rest of the oatmeal, with, you know, because I'm not going to waste it. It's going to be used in this dessert, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, I've taken some of the fresh raspberries, and I've just put them in the bottom of the dishes. I'm just using like glass tumblers. You can go fancy if you want to. I'm just using glass tumblers. Some people puree the raspberries. I like to leave mine whole. It's just the way I do it. But if you want to, you can kind of puree your raspberries if you want to. But I prefer to leave them whole. And now I'm going to put some of that on top of the raspberries. So the cream mixture is on top of them all. I try and sort of make it a bit level. And then what I've done is I've taken a spoon of the oats, and I'm just going to gently sprinkle it over the top. She says using a muckle brick spoon, and this is probably going to go everywhere, but just do that. I'm going to carry on. I'm going to get a smaller spoon. But I just wanted to kind of let you see. So I'm going to sprinkle some of the oatmeal over the top of the cream mixture now. So that's the oatmeal over the top. I'm now going to do some more raspberries, some more of the cream mixture, some more oatmeal. I'm just going to layer it up like that. I will let you see once they're complete. Okay, that's them finished. So as you can sort of see the layers through I could probably have taken kind of, I have got a layer of raspberries and stuff on the top there as well. Maybe you can see it better in that one. But yeah, so that is a sort of chocolatey Cranachan. I will find a good recipe for you and leave it down below. But what you do now is these just go into the fridge, and they stay there until you are ready to eat them. What I would say is these are, I'm just going to be honest, these are rough and ready, okay? If I was going to do it for like a party or something special, I would probably have piped the cream into the glasses just to make it look a bit more professional. But hey, we're just eating it at home for dinner tonight, because our friends, our neighbours next door and friends gave us some fresh raspberries, so in exchange for a lettuce yesterday. So that's why I'm using up the raspberries. But I hope you've enjoyed this bake, and I hope you enjoyed the book review as well. As I say, details for a Cranachan recipe will be down below. But if you get any questions, just put them into the comments and I'd be happy to answer them. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks, friends. Bye.